What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
They're here.
Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. Kill the lights, lock the doors, get comfy, and prepare for the sexiest and scariest podcast around. I'm Nick, and with me as always is my co-host, Ali.
Hi.
Always say your name differently, Ali, Alu. It's kind of funny.
Prince Ali Boo.
Prince Ali Boo.
If you know, you're cultured like that.
Yeah.
yeah, Prince Ali Boo Boo if you're nasty.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god. This
How you doing?
movie was a trip.
This is a good
You
one.
know, it felt like sort of like slightly less campy version almost of like Tremors.
Yes.
It's like if Tremors and The Thing had a baby and that baby was a robot.
And it screamed.
And oh my god, the screaming.
And it screamed.
Yeah, it was like, the screaming was something. And it was like, I don't know. I don't know. It was like they just I don't know if I wanted like reverberation or something, but it's like they just open their mouth and all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to pull my face away, but it's like,
Well, I don't know how they did it, but I think they just took a scream and mixed with saw blade.
Probably.
And
That makes sense.
Boom, you got the scream.
Because that's like essentially what they are in their pre-evolved form. It's like little spinny saw bladey things, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it was cool.
Like mobile landmines.
I love watching, and this is like very generalized, but I love watching like movies about the future and like what they think like future technology will be like.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's so funny. I don't know. It's kind of cool. And I love like they're like, oh, look at all these futuristic computers. Beep boop boop boop
Yeah.
beep beep, and it's just like big light up buttons.
Like we saw in Screamers, they have an old 1995 like Windows
Yes.
keyboard, the big one.
The big one with the big curve.
Not the old rectangle one, but
Yeah.
like the fancy one. That was for like Windows 95. and-
Yes.
oh,
The one that
those-
killed your wrist. Like, that's carpal tunnel in
Yeah.
a keyboard.
Yeah.
Ugh. Just, like, as somebody who works on a computer for, like, 8+ hours a day, seeing that hurt my wrists watching that. It's like, but it's what people thought was ergonomic back then.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Oof.
Yeah.
Now it's like if I don't have I have a jelly thing for my wrist,
Ooh.
like for my keyboard, because I type all day, right? Like I barely use my mouse. It's, time-saving thing. It's accountant talk,
Accounting talk, yes. Well, before we get really too far into talking about Screamers, we also had a little mini review. Well, I'm going to call it a review. We're going to talk about it. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil it.
It was
newish.
good.
And I forgot, because I had that interview with Amy Acker when we
Yeah.
first started. I'm sure she mentioned this movie that
Yes.
her and her husband kind of filmed in their home with an iPhone,
Yep.
and it's like 16 minutes. It's called Outside.
Oh,
And
so
it's,
good.
and it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Free to watch. Go check it out. It's a very little short horror suspense movie.
It was good. Yeah.
I liked it. It was
I
really
liked
good.
it. But that's the only thing with these is that, yes, it was 16 minutes. I want more.
We didn't get any answers. at
Yeah,
all.
no. I had like all of the questions and none of the answers. You get like a few.
Yeah.
But it's also like within 16 minutes. That's why I appreciate people who like do short films or write short books. Like, because you have to pack a lot
Into
a very small amount of time. And I felt like this was so well done because like there's almost no exposition. They're just like throw you into like, okay, this is a couple living their life and something's going to go wrong. And it's
Basically-
like, oh my God.
Without any spoilers, the plot is a couple living in her house. She can't go outside
Yes.
at all.
Yep.
She wants to open a window.
Yep.
The husband's like, nope, don't do that. And she sees outside, and she's like, I wish.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a neighbor who she sees, and she's like, well, she's outside. Oh, no, get back in. And then she disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And leads you to think that is she losing it? What's going on?
Yeah,
And then he also,
Mm-hmm.
like he's reinforcing, if you go outside, I will lose you. You will die. He didn't say die. He was, I will lose you.
Yes.
And he goes out. He letters up, has a gun, and he goes gets food. But yeah, there's also like a tone, like a siren goes off, and you go and hide in the closet downstairs.
Right.
And you kind of wonder, well, it gets you thinking as the audience, is he making this up? Is he a creeper?
Exactly.
Is he telling the truth?
Right.
Maybe, what's going to happen if she goes outside?
Like, it feels very like Cloverfield Lane. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
It's it was good. It was, I know I've said that literally 4 times. Take a shot for every time I've said good.
Oh.
It's just like it's so different, and I think I just didn't know what I was expecting going into it. And
Neither did I. I had no clue. I knew it was outside, and she and her husband are inside.
Yeah.
Watch. I'm like, oh, well, is there going to be monsters? Well, it's also they filmed on their own iPhone.
Yeah.
So, again, no spoilers. There's nothing really, the effects are pretty good.
Yeah, it was
But-
really interesting.
It's got a good little twist at the end.
Yeah, well, it was kind of twisty and turny the whole time. Like, there's lots of misdirection.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, it's, again, like we've talked about to death on here, that it's that fear of the unknown, because we don't honestly know what's after, in quotations, them. Like, you don't know, and you're just like, man, like, what's actually going on? Like, what's actually going on?
Yeah. And you can see, though, from Amy's character's perspective, like,
Yes.
she's going loony.
Yes.
She's cleaning everything. She's trying to keep herself busy. Boredom is just killing. I think her own, like, mind is breaking because she's so secluded.
Exactly.
Just
It's
her and her
very, like,
husband.
Rapunzel-y
Yeah.
in the beginning of Tangled.
She's always,
she paints and cleans.
cleaning
and-
everything. Cleaning the windows every day, every window every day.
Yes.
He uses a knife to, like, make a little bit of meal. Like, it looks like he has, like, a tuna and crackers.
Yes.
And as soon as he's done with the knife, she instantly washes it.
Yes.
So she's kind of got a bit of a thing going on.
Yes.
And
And that's like how we open is her cleaning basically, and he's like, like it's clean enough. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, you.
I'm just gonna keep cleaning.
Never clean enough.
And she's not even like usually Amy Acker. Her character's kind of more of a bubbly kind of.
Yes.
She's not in this. In this, she throws on her serious, kind of disturbed
Right.
feel.
Yeah, and she does a really good job at it. Like you
I
can
love the
tell that
actress.
they're both trained actors.
Yeah.
Because like they're really good at what they're doing. But
No, I can't say anything bad about Amy Acker. I can't. She
Right.
is.
She's a peach.
She is salt of the earth.
yes.
And I will continue saying that because I met her and she was just the nicest person ever. Love her. Love her. I want nothing but the best for her and her family
Yay.
during this whole Backstreet Boys tour.
Yeah.
To quote the Game Grumps.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, I think we can talk about the pandemic on here and nobody will take us down, so that's nice. We're not monetized, so we can say whatever the fuck we
No,
want.
we're not. We need more listeners first for monetization. Oh well.
Oh well.
That's okay. I got a job, you got a job, we're making monies, and we're watching horror movies.
Woo-hoo. That's the real payoff.
That is truly the biggest payoff. Sit here with you and watch good or bad horror movies.
Yeah. This one this week was, I don't know, I'm still on the fence about it. I feel the same way I felt when we watched Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
Is that, like, it's not a bad movie. It's very, of the period.
Yes.
Of the 1990s.
Although it was actually I guess we're going forward and backward. But
Sure.
by time-wise, we're going from 80s to 90s. Mm-hmm. And then next one's going to be more 2000s.
Fine.
I'm not going to say even when the next one starts or the time that they filmed it because that'd be a spoiler. And I'm saving that till next week.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is, so you guys can't get
gee.
anything out of me.
But, yeah, it's...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, it's very, like, very action-y. Like, there's a lot of action-y sort of sequences, a lot of chases, again, a lot of guns and explosions, and,
I would even call it more of a sci-fi film.
Totally.
But it's definitely in the horror
Totally.
aspects
Yes.
due to the content and the screamers and
Yeah, like, it's something that,
like you even jump. There's a jump scene that got you.
the stupidest fucking thing, and he's opening a goddamn letter. Don't make it seem... He's opening a letter and it's like boomf, and I'm always like, ah. I think I just wasn't expecting it. Like, obviously that's the whole point of a jump scare, Lana. Like, come on. But like, I wasn't expecting it to just like pop up, and I was like, oh, okay, she's spicy, all right, like that. But yeah, the actual like. Ugh, some of the practical effects were like a little cringy. The when there's the big mob scene, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, there's
Like, you kind of know, but you know going into it. That's what I mean. Is like for 1995, it looks great, like the melting and stuff like that. Just the one where the guy, the like slicey part, and it's like does the green screeny thing.
Oh yeah,
like,
when he's shooting like all the scribblers coming towards him.
Yes.
That was a little like that's a little rough.
Yeah.
But other than that though, like it's got great effects.
Yeah, the music was good.
The music is great.
Yes. The location was fabulous. Like the snow looked real.
It was filmed, I think, in Montreal.
Really?
It was real snow, of course.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Because I was like, man, for Canadians, I feel like we know snow, and like that looked like real snow. Okay, well, it makes me feel better that it was real snow then, because I was like, man, how'd they duplicate that? That's cool. So, I loved it.
Oh, yeah. Now, what do you think is better?
Okay.
Was Screamers or Outside?
See, and I liked Outside, but it's also not fair because it was like 16 minutes, and I still have questions, but thoughtful questions, and I just want to see more. Like, Screamers was fine. It was, again, like for the time, it was probably, like, I would have gone and seen it. Yeah, seen it?
Seen it, yeah.
Yeah, seen it in
I
theaters.
would have seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's your
I would
grammar
have seen
for
it
you.
in theaters, and I would have enjoyed it. But it's, like, very, like, one of those movies I'd go and watch with my dad. Like, it's very action-y and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of action elements, and the gruff older man, and, like, I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. And, I don't know. Yeah. I love Jefferson.
Yeah.
I identify with him. He's adorable.
The poor rookie, dumb kid who's...
Exactly.
So to shoot people.
Yeah. It's just all things that I've seen before in different movies, sort of, you know? But I loved, like, the Screamer portion of it, where there's, different kinds, and they're evolving and changing and growing, and oh my god. I love that. That was fabulous. But, yeah, it was fun. I had a fun time. It was good.
Oh,
yeah.
Should we just get right into it, or...
Into our review?
Should we get to our review? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
There's a pause there. I
was like into our, and I was like waiting. Wow, I can tell we're doing this in the morning instead of nighttime because I'm like alert.
I'm not even. I'm still tired.
Need more coffee. Okay, we're gonna go get coffee and we'll get right back into this.
Coffee and review coming up.
Okay, now that we're thoughtfully caffeinated, this week we watched Screamers, which is a 1995 movie. It is directed, I scrolled right past it, directed by Christian DeGuy?
Sure,
that feels right.
DeGuy.
Not Christian, Philip.
What?
No, Philip, no,
it's
oh my
Christian.
god, my name is Alana and I can't read. Christian DeGuy. It was written by Philip Dick, Dana Bannon, and Miguel Tiada Flores.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is another Dan O'Bannon film.
Yes.
He did a few. Like he's got quite a few good credits. Like Alien.
Yes, of course.
So he's
Lots of sci-fi stuff, hey?
Yeah, from reading. Just early in the morning. Oh boy. From watching Memory, the origin of Alien. Like it's kind of like a blog for the whole movie.
Right.
They explained how when Dan O'Bannon started out, like he just grew up in a very he was kind of a poor kid, didn't have everything, but his imagination took him everywhere. And he would just read all the sci-fi horror comics and all that, and that just kind of influenced his mind completely.
Awesome.
And so he started writing, and that's why he's got all these great movies and scripts and everything.
Well, I'm glad that he's successful. He deserves it. He's got such a creative mind. Like, it's something that I value in other people, like knowing people who are creative, because I'm very analytical and I'm not creative at all. Like, it's like people who do like tattooing and art and all that kind of stuff. I have such an appreciation for it because it is not my thing at all. I can write very amateur-y, but that's about it. That's all the creative juices I have in my whole being, is like writing characters for D&D. That's about it.
That's all. That's all you need.
Yeah. That's all you need. I just outed myself as a nerd, but that's fine. That's who
accepted nowadays. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, where did you first hear about this movie?
On our last episode when you told me where. That's my response for lots of these movies. Last week when you told me that we're watching it next week, but you watched the trailer after we had watched the movie, thank God. And they, like, drop everything in the trailer.
They do.
Oh, it's just a spoiler-filled thing. So don't watch the trailer if you want to watch this.
Watch it after.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer after.
Like, what the heck?
Because I remember it was on TV. The trailer was on TV, and I think it was in some movie theaters, too. And
1995.
Yeah. I was...
I couldn't remember
11.
anything, I don't think.
I was 11, yeah.
I was but a wee babe.
Oh, not even aware of the horror movie goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, I was too small.
But no, I didn't see it in theaters, but as soon as it came to VHS, I rented it because, it looks like a good movie. I've seen the trailers. It's got cool robots that kill people. I want to see this.
Yes.
And me and a buddy, I think we were having a sleepover, and we went to the rental store and just grabbed like a shit ton of movies.
Yes.
And Screamers came out. I'm like, wow, yes. And I remember watching it, and I'm like, I wasn't scared, but at the same time, I'm like, I couldn't turn away.
Right.
It gripped me and just stuck me right in.
Man, that first scene, that is something.
Yeah.
When we watched that, I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Like, we're straight up maiming somebody within the first 5 minutes of the film. Like, I'm here for it.
And that's what hooked me right away. I'm like, okay, cool. This is what we're dealing with.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Yes.
I loved it then. I still like it now.
Fabulous.
It's aged a bit with the effects.
It has, but very few of them. Like, like when it's not, a mass amount of robotic children walking towards you, it's very well done. Like the beginning scene with the guy getting like all chopped up. That looks so good. Like, it looked really real. Oh, yeah. And then when he goes to grab the message out of his hand, and it's like, yeah. I'm impressed. I was impressed by it. There's very few things that are like, oh, that's 1995.
For a budget of $20 million, that's like nowadays, that's maybe in effect. One single effect in a movie.
Right.
Yeah, like they didn't have really much. If they had more money, it feels like a $60 billion movie, or
right.
$60 billion. Ooh. Yeah. A $60 million movie. If they had more money for this, it would have been a little more better effects, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, say that's what makes a movie. It's not.
Right.
It's the acting. It's the atmosphere. It's the script, and there's all of that is lined up in here. That's
I agree.
checked off.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun.
Speaking of cast.
Speaking of which.
Speaking of the cast, let's
Speaking
get into
of
them.
people getting maimed.
Yes.
Oh, yes, wow.
So it stars Peter Weller, who plays Commander Joseph A. Hendrickson, also known as RoboCop.
Yes, he did such a good job. He's exactly what this movie needed as a main character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, exactly. And it's, what you expect from a action-y, sci-fi horror movie. You know what I mean? Like that, you listen to me here, soldier. Smoking all the time, and yeah.
Yeah. We got Jennifer Rubin as Jessica Hansen. Andrew Lauer as Ace Jefferson, the young rookie.
Oh, yes. His first name was Ace, and he went by Jefferson?
Yes.
Do you want to run past me again with that? I would just be like, literally walk up to anybody and be like, hi, I'm Ace. Hi, I'm Ace. Hi, I'm Ace.
What's your last
cool name?
Jefferson.
Ace Jefferson reporting for duty.
We also have Ron White as Chuck Albarak.
Chuck. Oh, yeah, Chuck. Yeah.
Charles Powell as Ross, Scaredy Cat Ross.
Annoying.
Roy Dupuis as Becker. This is also, just I forgot to mention, this is a Canadian kind of film. It's not a Canadian film, but it's
Filmed in Canada.
filmed in Canada.
With
It's
some
got,
Canadian
yeah,
peeps.
exactly.
Cool.
They usually film in Canada to fill some spots. They hire local, and there's lots of good actors out there and actresses who are Canadian.
That happens a lot. There's like a ton of acting. Oh my God, Alana, movies that go on in like Vancouver, BC specifically, because it's got such a different terrain, and there's terrain like up and down the whole province.
And they can call it any city in America.
Exactly.
Like they film
it's
X-Files there so many
yes,
times.
Exactly. So yeah, BC is a huge place to be filming, which is interesting.
Yeah. We also have Michael Kalos as David.
Which one's Dave? Oh, David.
Yeah,
Oh.
David.
Which one is David? Oh no.
They're all David.
That's
And
the joke.
just because Lenny Parker as Don't Fuck It Up, Corporal McDonald.
Oh my God, Corporal McDonald. What is she even doing? What does she even do?
McDonald, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. She just mistake after mistake. That would be me.
That was our joke through the whole movie. Well, not whole movie because she's on for most of it.
Yeah,
but,
she's in it for like a whole.
She's in like the first
1
quarter.
minute.
Yeah, she just kind of keeps not screwing things up, but things go wrong with her.
Yes,
a lot.
always.
And
they're just like, McDonald, I rue the day.
yeah, Henderson is like, he's always on her ass.
Yes.
Yeah, to try and talk to like, there's like a hollow image instructions going on, and she's like, can't make it work, sir, interference. Give me that McDonald.
McDonald, God, fix it, McDonald.
Damn, McDonald, fucking up again, McDonald.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey, McDonald, where's the comm coming from? I don't know, sir. McDonald, figure it out. It's like, oh my God. Like, did
She's
she
like-
do anything right?
She's like the whipping boy of the entire platoon.
Yes.
And it's
Kinda
funny.
good.
You gotta have someone. So.
Yes. It's appreciated.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
Let's get into review.
Yeah.
Let's get into review. All right.
Review time.
Before the screamers get us.
Time. Do.
Hey, is your tab on? Is your tab working?
I don't know.
Check
I
it.
need to check my wrist. One sec.
Check your tab.
Oh no, I have no green.
Oh, well, shit, we gotta do this quick then. You'll find out. All right, victims, you'll figure it out. So, in the year 2078, the planet Sirius 6b, once a thriving mining hub, has been reduced to a toxic wasteland by a war between the mining company known as the New Economic Bloc,
The Nebs.
NEBS, and the Alliance, a group of former mining and science personnel. After miners discovered that their extraction of ore released toxic gases, they went on strike. And the mining company hired mercenaries as strike breakers. 5 years into the war, Alliance scientists created and deployed autonomous mobile swords.
This
AMS.
feels like what was crawling in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were not paying attention whatsoever.
Yeah, I was, but it was like a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, this all feels very familiar.
Artificially intelligent, self-replicating machines that hunt down and kill NEB soldiers on their own. They're nicknamed Screamers because of a high-pitched noise they emit as they attack.
Yes.
Screamers Screamers track targets by their heartbeats, so Alliance soldiers wear tabs. These little like
Yes.
wristbandy, lighty things.
Yes.
Which broadcast a signal canceling out the wearer's heartbeat and rendering them invisible to the machines.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of the backstory of everything, and it's very every movie that has like mining has like the unobtainium.
Yes.
Or I forget what they call it in this one, but it's like the super rare material or gems or something.
It was
that's
beryllium, wasn't it? Here.
yes. Which
And then for some reason, plutonium popped up randomly.
that's because they use nukes. That's why.
Yes.
But apparently, by Henriksen's account, 1 teaspoon could power him a ship from
Yes.
Earth to
Saturn.
in
Yep.
like a heartbeat. So
But
Cool.
you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
yeah, they don't have that.
Nope. Missing that last part.
Yeah. A fragile stalemate is in effect between the two exhausted, poorly supplied, and undermanned armies. The Alliance recovers a message from a dead NEB soldier, killed by Screamers as he approached the Alliance compound, guaranteeing safe passage through Neb territory to discuss a truce.
Yes.
Now, unpack that a bit. There's a bit, again,
Yeah.
much better than Chopping Mall.
Ugh.
Yeah, so we start off with, we got this guy kind of running through this deserty dunes. Like, this place should be like just lush. A lush, beautiful, like Earth planet, and now it's a wasteland.
Yes.
Just deserts and snow everywhere.
I immediately made an Anakin joke because it's
Yes.
just sand for miles.
Yeah.
So
So he's coming to the compound, and the guards on duty, they're like, oh, I'll shoot him. And this girl comes up. She's like, he's mine.
yeah.
And
Look out, boys! He's mine.
yeah. And as he's getting closer, we hear the scream and the little burrowy effects of the screamers
Yes.
going through the ground.
Yep.
And he kind of starts screaming. Well, he starts shooting them. And there's too many, so he pulls out this little container, canister, holds it up. He's like, ah! And a screamer cuts off his arm.
Yep.
And then another one cuts off his leg. And he's lying there. One goes right for the noggin and slice.
Nom 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 nom.
And so one of the commanders kind of comes in. What's going on here? And they're like, oh, we got a Neb soldier. He's kind of in pieces. He's waving something, whatever.
Yep.
And the guy's like, it was Chuck. Chuck's like, I'll get it. So he goes out there, has his tab on green,
Yep.
walks out. And as he goes out there, we see there's a leg, there's the body. And the screamers, they're also disposal. So they
Yes.
drag the body parts into the ground after them.
Yeah.
So he grabs the arm and is holding on to the canister, and the commander, he shoots it and destroys the. They have no problem destroying the screamers. They work for them, but
Right.
they don't care.
Right.
And manages to get the canister before he gets taken away. And so he takes it inside, takes his commander Henriksen. He's like the big boss of the area.
Yes. Yep.
And they pops open, scares Lana.
Yes.
And, and they
Mail
kind
from
of-
hell.
Yeah, and they find out it's like a peace treaty. Like,
Yes.
two people come to our compound and we'll discuss a peace. And they get in touch with their commanding officer on Earth. He's like, nope, don't worry about that. We found another moon or planet full of this gas, and now we're going there to mine it. War's over.
Yep.
And so, yeah, when Alliance Commanding Officer Joe Henriksen reports this development to his Earth-based superiors, I said that,
Yep.
he's told that peace negotiations are already underway on Earth. But Private Ace Jefferson,
Yay.
who literally just dropped on their front door,
Yeah.
they're broadcasting they were a civilian vessel,
Yes.
and they just kind of crashed.
Yeah, and then they crashed. Yeah, because then there's a huge kerfluffle with the crash.
Yeah. I also find out that because of the wars, they basically just use nukes.
Yes.
And has poisoned the atmosphere.
Which, like...
Yeah. And to counteract the poison, they have to smoke these red cigarettes.
Yes, exactly.
And everyone smokes in this movie. It's a very pro-smoking movie.
Because 90s.
Yes. But yeah, so they have to light up reds,
Yeah.
so that the radiation doesn't kill them, basically.
And everybody just carries a pack of Reds on them at all times.
Yeah.
Just so... And later in the movie, Jefferson asks Joe, he's like, how do you know that it's working? And he's like, you don't die. And I'm like, oh. That's really
You're going to put
sad.
crap in my lungs to keep me from dying from
Yeah.
crap? He's like, yep. Okay.
Yep. You have to put crap in your lungs to get the crap out of your lungs.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So Private Ace Jefferson, newly arrived from Earth, said that is untrue. Henriksen is not surprised. He has long suspected that both sides have simply written off Sirius 6B and abandoned their armies.
Right.
Ouch.
Which is interesting. You've never played Mass Effect.
I've played Mass Effect.
Have you played all of them?
2.
Okay.
I played number 2.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens in all three of them, and this storyline is exactly something that happens in the first one. Like, exactly. Is that they get taken over, and then they're just like, no one will miss them. We'll just say that something exploded. It's like, oh my god.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like, it's a scary thing to just be like, and to be not on Earth, and to be abandoned with no natural flora or fauna to keep you alive. That's scary.
Yeah, they get shipments every now and then, but that's about it. They're just kind of just to keep them going enough so they'll maybe kill each other off. And whatever.
Exactly. Oof.
So Henriksen decides that the only realistic chance of survival for himself and his soldiers is to accept the Neb truce offer. He sets out for a meeting with the Neb commander, accompanied by Jefferson. While traveling through a destroyed city, they come upon a war orphan, a young boy named David.
Aw, you got a little teddy bear.
Yeah, clutching a teddy bear.
Aw, little teddy bear.
Unwilling to abandon a defenseless civilian, they bring the boy along. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I was
Joe
like,
was-
as if.
Joe
Joe
was
was
like-
like, fuck this kid.
Yeah,
and I'm
you
like,
stay
yeah.
Here's a ration. We'll be back in 2 days. It's like,
Yeah, we'll hit you on the flip side when we're done our mission.
can I go with you? Is that what he says?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Also, as soon as they see David and he's like, hello, it's very echoey and very
Yes.
strange
You
sounding.
know, you're right. I did notice that. I'm wondering.
Because I'm like, a Nick? That's not a kid. That's not a
You
human.
gave me the look. I'm like,
yeah.
I hope she doesn't figure it out.
And you're like, and then they come up to him and he is like a sad little orphan boy and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
fair.
Where's your parents? Dead. Okay.
What do you eat?
Food.
Food. What kind? Different kind. It's
That's
like,
right. It's very weird answers.
right. Like,
Yeah.
all of the flags were red in this
Yeah.
situation.
So they basically, well, Joe's like, no. Jefferson's like, yes. And as they're walking away, can I go with you?
Mm-hmm.
Joe's like, fine.
Fine.
So they bring the boy along. The following night, they are attacked by a reptilian screamer that they've never
Yes.
seen before. Henderson's
it
alarmed that
looks
their
like a
lines.
thing.
Yeah, Henderson's alarmed that their lines tab did not protect them. So yeah, so they're kind of camping out. Little boy's having a snooze on Joe. Joe's playing with the teddy bear, making
Yep.
him talk and move. Kind of because he said, I had one like him, so he's kind of going
yeah,
back to
he's
his
like,
kids'
hello,
days.
Mr. Bear. Hello.
Yeah. And old Jefferson is laying there with these VR sound glass goggles of music videos of naked women.
Yes. So he
Boobs.
can't hear anything.
No,
Yeah.
boobs. And
First boobs.
he also took his tab off.
Exactly. He took his tab off because he's under the assumption that if it's sitting beside you, that's good enough.
Yeah. No, it has to be attached.
Yes.
So
Which makes sense because it's about heartbeat, stupid head.
yeah.
Yeah,
It registers
stupid
your
Jefferson.
thumps. So yeah. So Joe kind of he sees one.
Yes.
He's kind of dicking around, and he goes right for both of them.
Yes.
And he shoots it. And
Yep.
he's like, and Ace is like, well, why are you getting mad at me? Because he just gave him shit,
Yeah, he's
This thing will,
freaking out.
this saves your life, blah, blah, blah. I was like, why me? I was going for you too. He's like, you're right. Crap. And one thing that Hendricks always does is he digs into and pulls out like a little chip, like
yes.
the brain.
Yes.
And he's kind of collecting them. We're not
Yeah.
sure why. We find out later. But he's kind of just keeping them on him.
Yeah.
And he also smashes poor Ace's porn music video.
Yeah.
I'd be upset too. He was a little mad. He said, you know how much that costs? Like, it's not worth your life.
Yeah. Go, oh, gosh darn.
As the group nears the Neb compound, two enemy soldiers, Becker and Ross, open fire on David,
yes.
whose chest explodes in a shower of not blood and guts, gears, bolts, and wires.
Dun, dun, dun.
David,
Always trust those red flags, guys. I'm just saying, especially in the apocalypse.
David was a screamer. Whoa.
He's a human screamer. Oh my god.
Yeah. They explained to the astonished Alliance men that David was a new Type 3 screamer, impersonating a human.
Yes.
Most of the Neb contingent had been wiped out by another David screamer that a patrol unwittingly brought into the base.
Yes.
Becker, Ross, and a black mercantier named Jessica are the only survivors. We also hear while Joe is trying to contact his base, Chuck is like his sub commander.
Yes. Good old Chuck.
He's like, yeah, we got another visitor. He's kind of a strange fella, and we're like,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
oh, Chucky boy, you are in for.
And this is before David gets
yes.
bullets in
Yeah,
him, and
this is
it's
when
like,
this is
and
during
I'm
the
like, Nick, wait a second, weren't they talking about a strange human coming into their thing? And
I bet it was McDonald's fault.
yes,
I bet she let him in.
Fucking McDonald, you
Fucked
give
it up.
her, god damn it, Joe, you leave for 2 days, and McDonald lets in a screamer, like just like that.
She fucked it up.
Damn it.
You say, don't fuck it up. She fucks it
She
up.
fucks it up. That's what she does every time. God damn it.
Yeah. The group heads to the Neb compound command center, but finds only an empty building with large pools of blood. Locating the mainframe computer, Hendrickson learns that the Neb true software was just as false as the Alliance message from Earth.
Yes.
The group retreats to the Neb bunker, pursued by Davids. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, and they're creepy looking.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. We also see Joe. He's going through the chips and he's like scanning them like a credit card, ATM kind of thing. Just swipe it, and it shows the reptile one.
Yeah.
And he swipes the boy one, and it goes from, because type 1 is the originals.
Yes. Just the little guys that are just in the sound.
Type 1. Type 1 was the reptiles.
Yes.
Type 3 were the boys.
Right.
And he types in, type 3 before he gets chased away by Davids.
Yes.
So, what's type 2? We're going to find out eventually.
Type 2.
The discovery that the Screamers have evolved new versions on their own that are indistinguishable from humans and immune to Alliance tabs.
Right.
Leads to paranoia and distrust.
Because they could be anybody.
Yeah, and they, Becker explained that.
Becker's the angry one with the teardrops,
yes,
right?
Yes. He's got a couple teardrops because he's a badass. I
forgot about his name. Also, that's horrible. Like, why did they have to give him those, like, horrible looking ones? Why can't they give him, like, something cool?
Why on the inside of his eye?
Right?
Why aren't they supposed to be on the outside? But whatever.
Yeah, it was a weird design choice. Maybe there's a reason behind it that we don't know. We're obviously not the directors or the special effects artists or makeup artists, but it is a weird choice.
It is.
Right?
So, he explains how they're seen as wounded soldiers, yelling, help me a lot, to try and lure someone in and kill them.
Yes.
Where was I? Okay. Becker becomes convinced that Ross is a screamer and kills him.
Yeah,
only to discover that he was human because he keeps repeating.
I was going to say, one of the things is
Get
that they
off
repeat.
my back.
Yeah.
He says it a lot. And you think, you think too, he's a screamer.
And he's, like, always nervous and, like,
nervous,
awkward
scared,
around people. Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
Shoots everything.
Yeah.
Like...
Just not a good soldier.
No.
Very twitchy, very...
Yes. So even, like, us as the audience, we're like, okay, something's off here. And now that you know that they can be anything or anyone, you're like, okay, Ross, we see you.
This becomes Thing territory.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which still got a re-review.
Yes.
Yeah, so killed Ross. Ross was in fact human.
Yep.
And Becker's like, whatever.
But, like, was he, though, Nick? Because once we get to the end, we see that, like, the robots can bleed, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but also he...
Died.
He died. Yeah, he died by, like, a knife.
Right.
So I think there'd be more sparks or something. There's more distinguishable...
But, like, they just pulled the knife out. Like, he could have had, like, a bunch of circuits and crap underneath. You know what I mean?
But near the end, though, he also, Joe stabs a screamer like type 2, and there's still sparks. There's still...
You're right, yeah.
Yeah. So, no,
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, but was he?
I think Ross was human, just a very bad one.
Yeah. Fair. Very fair.
The three survivors retreat to the Alliance base, only to find that the Davids have gained entrance to the compound as well, with equally devastating results. Fuck McDonald.
God damn it, McDonald.
And it's funny because in the beginning we have Joe and Chuck, talking about Don Giovanni.
Yes.
And I think it was just kind of based on what they like to listen to for music. Right. And Chuck keeps saying, "Come on down." Over.
Yes.
Come on down. Over. So can I talk to Giovanni? Yep, it's Giovanni here. He's like, yeah, how's it going? Oh, good, blah, blah, blah. Come on down, over.
Yes.
And meanwhile, Joe's so back up's like, fuck this, everyone get out of here.
Yeah, and it's like, and he's like, well, why don't you come up? Oh, well, you just come on down, over.
Yeah, open the door, Chuck.
Okay, well, how about you just come up? Oh, well, come on down. And you're like, and he's like slowly like, get back. Oh my God.
Come on up, Chuck, open the door. Oh, come on down, over.
Oh, it's like, it's almost like, it's creepy how they set that up, you know? Ooh.
This is damn good writing.
Yes, it really is.
Dan O'Bannon, he's good. He knows what he's doing. As dozens of Davids pour out of the bunker's entrance, Hendrickson fires a micronuclear missile into the bunker.
So this is the part where, like, obviously this is the 90s. They can't just duplicate and make it look real for all the Davids. So there's people, and they're probably regular people, wearing, like, David masks.
Yeah.
And it looks very, like, costumey.
Yeah.
This is the only part, well, one of the two parts that I'm like, this is kind of blah. But the zoom-ins on the faces and the melting skin and the robots
The effects are
look so good. But the long shots are like, ugh.
But they always have the real David in the front.
In there,
so they kind of takes your view from the foreground, from the background to the foreground of him. So it does work out.
Totally.
But I noticed it too.
Yeah,
I totally
it's just like,
it.
oh, well, that's obviously
Okay.
20 people wearing rubber
Real,
masks.
fake.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Very, very,
and like
very
they
lame.
tried. And I totally commend them for trying. And I know that these days you could just literally duplicate them and pop them in and no one would be able to tell. But yeah, the practical effects just kind of hurt a bit in this one.
Yeah.
But
So so after the explosion, they're kind of knocked out a bit.
yes.
And we hear Becker screaming, "Help me, help."
Yeah.
Like, it looks like he's holding his lower
arm
stomach or something. He's hurt.
Yeah.
And Jefferson, being the young rookie that he was, rushes to the aid of Becker,
It's like, oh my God.
who was apparently injured in the blast. But Becker's cries of distress are a ruse. Even Joe figures it out.
What a ruse.
What a twist. He is a type 2 screamer, and he kills Jefferson
Yeah.
by basically just crushing him in
Gives
on
him a
half.
squeeze.
Basically, he just grabbed him by his ribs and just pushed
Smushed
in.
him, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So-
threw him very hard against the
yeah,
tank.
give him a toss.
Yeah.
After Hendrickson destroys Becker, only he and Jessica remain, and he shoots Becker in the face, and a bit of electricity's on her. He's quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And then he fights a bit, kind of is super cocky,
Yes.
and then he gets kind of shot in half by a grenade launcher on his gun. It's not a bad effect. It's very rough effect.
Yeah.
This is another rough effect.
This is the only other part where it's like, ugh. But it's like, basically, you can tell that it cuts to like a green screen almost, where they popped him getting cut in half on it.
Yeah.
And then they switch right back to the movie. But the after effect of him lying there in half is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's fabulous. And it's like, ugh, guys, you were so close.
Yeah.
But I know, again, it's hard, and I'm understanding of the whole, era. So, yeah, they tried.
And now paranoid, Hendrickson worries that Jessica could be a screamer as well.
Yes.
He slashes, because he digs out a chip from Becker.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never seen this before. This is new.
This is a weird one, and it's like all triangle-y, and it's got weird, notes on it, that aren't English.
Yeah, it has new language. I've never seen this language before.
Yeah.
Another funny thing is, not funny thing, but when Ace asks about, where did they come from? What are screamers? And he explains basically someone on Earth cooked them up, brought them here, and set up a underground development facility.
Yep. Right.
And basically they turned them on and ran.
Yeah.
Because it's all
It's like self-automated, basically,
Yes.
and
they make
evolve
themselves.
Yeah.
Well, evolve wasn't expected. They just,
Yes.
just stay as little, moles almost.
This is why we can't trust robots, you guys. This is why Terminator could happen.
Siri.
God damn it.
Yeah. She reaches out for the chip, and Henderson's like, "Yep, here you go." But he slashes her hand, and is relieved though to see blood dripping from the wound. She calls back. She's hurt.
Yeah, she's like,
And-
oh, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm so sorry. I had to know.
And
You
then-
do me.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, I believe you." And then they have sex.
And then they have smoochies.
Yeah.
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 Smooches.
It's kind of real that they have sex.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yes. And,
Apparently
right
that's
beside all the dead people.
That's the newest futuristic pickup line. I slice your hand, we have sex.
Yep.
As
Yep.
makeup. So They locate an emergency escape shuttle and begin prepping for launch, only for Becker, who was repaired and has taken Joe's friend's face, to attack Joe. Oh, that was Becker. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it up at all.
Yeah.
Missed it.
Oh.
Well,
I saw Becker.
I didn't. Although I was wondering why he was quoting Shakespeare again.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, it's just a thing they have.
Yeah. And then he switches to Chalk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah.
In the struggle, Joe manages to finally kill Becker by throwing him into a plasma laser that's part of the shield grid for the escape shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
I also find out that only only Joe can open everything up and use it because of his DNA codes.
Like, yeah, he's like the. So is he like the captain in quotations of the site sort of thing, or like the head dude?
I think of
guy,
the Alliance Army. He was in charge.
There we go.
He was there.
Like
he was
the
their boss.
lieutenant or whatever.
Yeah.
Sergeant. I don't know.
Yeah. With the shuttle now prepped, they discover it can only carry one person. Hendrickson offers the shuttle to Jessica, but a second Jessica arrives,
Dun dun dun.
confirming that she is a screamer after all, and even
Yes.
more human-like. Hendrickson resigns himself to death, but to his surprise, Jessica shields him,
Yes.
then sacrifices herself in battle with her lookalike.
Yeah. So
That was a
so
kinda
this
cool fight
second
scene.
Jessica is like rude, and she's like, yeah, we can talk, walk, and fuck, and it's like, okay, you didn't have to say it like that, second Jessica, like, weird. And so this whole thing where he's like, no, like you need to go, not me, and she's like, but you can pilot it, and he's like, well, let's flip for it, and she's like, okay, and so then he
The thing is,
flips.
she didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah,
There are some clues that she is who she.
Yes.
She isn't who she says she is.
Exactly.
But like he flips the coin and final pick, and he picks I don't know, not heads or tails because it's.
No, it's Cleopatra or the pyramid or something. It was weird.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he just kind of throws his glove over top. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
fuck
like,
it,
it doesn't matter, you're going.
You're
and she's
going.
like, but I can't. And then afterwards, that's the whole thing, is that, like, he's like, what? She's like, see, I told you I couldn't go. And he's like, oh. Like, it's a strange...
Other Jessica shows up, and she's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, joke's on you, Joe.
Yeah. So first Jessica sacrifices herself in battle with her lookalike. Joe then kills the lookalike with the shuttle's ignition test.
Yes, which is, again, with such a good effect.
That is a great effect.
Like, what?
We get
Why couldn't we get that the whole time?
we get some crispy boobs.
Yeah,
and,
very crispy Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good effect.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Yeah,
effect.
it looks really good for what it is.
And one of the, I think it was during when he was fighting or getting away from the
The David?
Davids.
Yeah.
One of the faces morph
Yes.
into the teeth, the mouth winds up. There's like razor blades in the teeth. The
Yes.
eyes kind of shrink and go spooky. A great morph effect.
Mm-hmm.
Really good effect. With her last breath, Jessica confesses her love for Hendrickson, even though she's a robot.
Yeah, of course, because, the robots learn to love,
Yeah,
so.
she kind of explains how she wanted to tell him. She tried to, but
She didn't know how he'd react,
Yeah.
and which, fair. Like, he probably would have hurt her, so I understand where she's coming from, but, meh.
yeah. Hendrickson departs for Earth on the escape shuttle with a single souvenir, the teddy bear carried by the original David.
Yes.
As the screen fades to black, the bear slowly begins to move on its own.
No.
The end.
So is there a second one?
Yes,
Oh. And?
I haven't seen it.
Oh. Okay. Is it like right after this? Like, do we pick up where they left off?
I looked at the Wikipedia plots to try and figure it out. Nope, there's maybe a paragraph. That's
None.
it.
That's it? Okay.
So
Interesting.
all I know is Frank Weller's in it still.
Awesome.
So,
Okay. Because that's what I was going to say is, like, is Peter Weller still, like, the
or
dude?
Peter Weller, not Frank.
And, I don't know. I guess I'll look. It's back on Sirius 6. Oh, no. Screamers the Hunting is what it's called. 2009.
Yeah.
Group of humans arrive on Sirius 6B to investigate the SOS signal from the planet, which is supposedly deserted. Oh, man. This is... Okay, I'm not reading this whole thing because we're talking, but, like, yeah, she looks a little scary. A little more horror-y
Oh, good.
and more human-y. But it got a very low rating, so here we go.
Well, okay.
I might watch it this weekend and tell you.
Tell
you how I feel.
Save it for next Killer Robot
Next
month.
Talking Chop, yeah.
Or next Killer Robot month.
Yeah.
Whenever that is.
Are there that many?
No. There really isn't. There's
like,
a few ones that I could have chosen for this month, but
right. Because when I think robots, I basically immediately, and like horror movies, I immediately default to Terminator. And that's about it, really.
yeah,
But like outer
there's a few.
space robots?
There's Saturn 6, I think.
I mean, you could technically classify Friday the 13th like in space.
No, he's not a robot.
I mean,
He's not a
kind of
robot.
cyborg-y, isn't he?
No.
Doesn't he turn into like Superman?
No, he just gets his DNA recombobulated and upgraded. Doesn't mean he's a robot.
But he doesn't have like wires and stuff? I thought he was
Nope.
like cyborg-y.
Nope.
Oh. Nah, it's
No.
kind of robot-y. I don't know. Robot-y is such a loose word. Like, what is a robot? You know, like, I don't know. But then Alien too. Like, I think of the cyborgy dude's an alien, and like the like beep boop 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 milk.
But
head
for
dude.
for killer robots, we got to have a robot that kills.
Yes, right.
So
Yeah, scary.
yeah, spooky, scary.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
So how would you? Oh, it's almost Halloween. I'm excited. So how would you rate this movie?
Oh, I didn't even think about this. I usually have some thoughts and some points and stuff. I don't know. It was like I feel like it's very like Chopping Mall, but like better, but like in a different way. Like, I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 3. Like, it feels very actiony, very of the era. But it was fun. Like, I had a fun time watching it. And the twists and turns, and I, wasn't expecting some of the stuff that happened, and I'm still sad about Jefferson, and yeah, it invoked feelings, and I had a good time, so I'd say that's a solid 3. Wasn't scary, except for when the mail is the scariest part of the movie for me. Well, that's not exactly a positive, But, the effects overall were all right, except for the 2 things we pointed out. Yeah, I'd say a solid 3. Yeah,
Nice. I give it 3.5, just because of nostalgic value.
Of course, always. That'll always play a role. Yeah.
The effects are fantastic.
Yeah.
Nothing looks weird. Nothing looks fake.
Right.
The different design to the screamers, I love that. How they just kind of, there's so many of them. Mm-hmm. And they're always like when we're watching, I commented how they're always kind of digging around the dirt.
Right.
So they're around.
Yeah.
And cool, they kind of threw in like you have to wear the tabs so you can be invisible to them. That's a cool little factor.
Yeah. I just wish they would have gone a bit harder with the screamers, which maybe they explore in this next one. I doubt it, but like I would have, like we were talking about afterwards when we were just kind of bullshitting, I would have loved to have like taken us to where they live, in quotations, the loosest form of the word. Like, I want to see docking stations. I want to see how they're figuring out stuff. Like, I want to see like a mother computer, and these are all of her hive children. I want more about them. And they obviously did that on purpose, that they didn't, because could you imagine that special effects budget? Ugh.
Oof.
Like, I understand, and
like
I'm empathetic to the fact that they did it how they did, but I just wanted more from the screamers. I want more backstory.
Have the all the bodies that they take after they kill.
Exactly.
Like, have
what happened?
Just have like a big vat of blood.
Yes.
Have just skin.
Because Joe talks about how he thinks the reason they're taking them is because humans produce methane gas, right?
Yeah.
So, and that can, be used as power and a fuel source.
Yeah.
Which, like, I understand, but it's just, like I wanted to see it. Like, I don't want, and he's like, but really, I don't know, I'm just a guy, I don't fucking know, and it's like, okay, fair, but, like I just want to see it. Give me some. Give me more.
Something. Give me something, come on.
And it's a different kind of feeling to how I felt when we watched Amy Acker's Outside, where it's like, oh my god, there's so many questions. But this one, it's like, you're giving me just a taste, and I want to see it. Like, you're talking about it, so you're acknowledging that it's a thing, so give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more. Give me. me more. Little Britney Spears.
Uh,
Yeah.
she should have been in this movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, actually,
she was fun, though.
Thinking back, they did have Britney Spears as a robot.
Yes.
Austin Powers 3?
Yes,
Or 2?
they did. Yeah, it was, I think it was 3.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it was
it?
3.
Yeah, I'm sure it was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was a fembot.
Fembot Britney
Yeah.
Spears. Oh, boy, where did that come from?
Well, because she was relevant at the time, and they're
She
like,
was, yeah.
this'll make the kids want to come, right? They know the people and the
Phrasing.
singers.
No, I enjoyed Screamers.
Totally.
It's not a straight up horror. It's got a lot more science fiction to it.
Yeah, lots of actiony, gun shooting, explosion-y things. Yeah,
But-
like I said, it's a movie I'd watch on like TBS with my dad.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's also, it has the horror element. It's got the killing machines. It's got
Yes.
the very, David was creepy.
Yes.
Creepy
yes,
as hell, David.
was scary.
Um,
and especially in the beginning, and I had red flags. I never fucking trust kids in movies. And that is like something I carry into my real life. Just don't trust kids. Number one.
Don't trust him.
Don't.
Like even at the very end, the bear, when I first saw it, the bear moved. I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? What's going to happen now?
Right.
Like the kind of little teddy bear. He's going to pop out. Like, you almost expect the bear to start screaming and then just kind of transform
Yes.
with blades coming off its hand or head.
Yes.
Like, for what it was great.
Yes, I agree.
They could have added on and expanded, which may have been even better,
yeah.
but they didn't. And you know what? I'm okay
And
with
that's
that.
fine. Yeah, it's
This
a
is
good
a good
one-off.
movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah.
And you,
Maybe
and you got,
I'll watch the 2009 one and report back.
there you go. And you got a great cast. The cast was great.
They were. It was good acting. It was exactly what they needed. They had all the different personalities, like the rookie and the nervous guy and the big muff, oh my god, buff, manly, awkward guy. Oh, Lord. And then
Oh,
McDonald,
boy.
who just fucking sucks. And, like, Chuck, who's the nostalgic Christian. You know what I mean? Like, they had such an array of people. And good acting, so.
Yeah. And I made this joke at the end. I'll make a joke on air because it's so
On air.
funny. When Jessica and Joe hooked up, was she a screamer? Oh, shit.
Ow, ow.
And it turns out she was. So,
Yeah. Joke's on us, I guess.
all right, so next
So,
week, going to
yeah.
keep the Killer Robot month going.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm bringing out Virus.
Which you said it's so creepy, and that makes me excited, but give me a taste. Give me a little taste about it.
Basically, the plot is the research boat. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm kind of going by memory. Research boat, they pick up a signal from space, and it's sentient AI.
Ooh.
And it wants a body.
Ooh.
Boom.
Not
Virus.
just anybody.
And so, yeah, so it's very, it's a good step up from what we've really previously watched.
Sure.
Effects-wise, you're going to be blown away.
Yay. That's all I ever asked.
It's got Donald Sutherland. It's got
fun.
what's her name from Halloween?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you. Jamie Lee Curtis stars in it. It's a phenomenal, great movie. I think it's underrated personally.
Awesome.
It is one of the most, well, not most. It's one of the more underrated, unknown. But when you watch, you'll go, "Good damn!
Love
this
it.
is this is a doozy. I love it."
I'm always into something like that. I always want to be pleasantly surprised. Because some of these movies are gems, you know, that just never, because horror isn't like, now it is a bit more, but it's never been like a huge genre that, you know, blockbuster films. So some of them are really hidden gems, and I really appreciate that.
And I really do like this movie. I
Awesome.
really do. It's a good, I guess it's still more horror
Yes.
sci-fi,
Sure.
but it's a lot more scarier than
What
the last two we've
watched.
watched. Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited.
So, what would you think Ichabod's Kill the Flick would be?
Well, as much as I loved, like, the girl-on-girl fight and the chest throwing and the laser dissolving
Zapping.
and everything, yes. I think it has to be that beginning maiming and mutilating and chopping because of the shock value and the quality of
and it sets the pace right there. It shows
immediately
what the screamers are, what they can do, and there's just never ending.
Exactly. Yeah. You kind of it sets exactly like you said the tone and the pace, and you're like, all right, here we go. Like we're ready to chop some bitches up.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us this week. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, and YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week. We have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience.
See ya.